I'm going to talk to you about, it's Horror Update Orlando, okay? And I've been talking about Halloween Horror Nights a lot, and I respect that. I helped with Horror Nights back in the past, and now I'm going to talk about other haunted attractions in Orlando, and maybe I'm going to do other things. But no, right now I'm going to strictly talk about horror in Orlando, the haunted attractions that were in town, and how there was one called the Haunted Mansion that looked like a castle on the outside. I think that was on 13, but I'm not sure. Because I remember the old advertising. I went there just once, and it was kind of weird. It seemed like no one. It was like only two actors. So anywho, it was like I remember Spook Road 13 or something like that. But there's one near me. I think it's Studio 13. That's pretty darn good. They're pretty professional. I keep on giving my resume. I haven't heard from them at all. Probably they don't want to hire me because they think I'm expensive. Believe me, I'm not expensive. I love haunted attractions, and so if anyone who has a haunted house out there who wants their haunted house redeveloped for any reason, just call me. Just leave me a message. Send me a message on here and I'll help. Okay? In the near future, I'll be getting myself an MPG probably. Not sure. The MPG is the new Heartland trailer. Basically, you can tow behind your lightweight pickup truck. And it has, everything you need. And what I'm planning to do is if anyone needs me to work for them, to develop rides or anything else, I will bring that trailer along the back of my truck, and I will live in the parking lot, and I will be there to help you. Family-owned theme parks I love. I like working at the family-owned theme parks. Kennywood, the offer is still up if you're interested. Alright, now, what happened to Terror Orlando? Terror Orlando was a haunted attraction. Nice owner. I think his name was Greg or Steve. I forgot his name, but he had a thing called Mayhem Manor. Okay, I was there almost right in the first when he just opened. I think I was one of his first calls. I was pretty busy with another project I was doing, so he called me up and see if I wanted to work with him. I worked with many other companies in Orlando. He called and said he wanted a job. I said I think I have other things to do, but I'll keep them in mind. The guy was only open for 7 months. All right, I think it was only actually a year. He was only open for a year because I remember Halloween Horror Nights 2007 he was open, and then Halloween Horror Nights 2008 popped up and he was not open. So that's what happened, or was it 2008? Hold on. He was there when Bloody Mary was, so it was... No, that's 2009 Bloody Mary. Yeah, he was there 2009 was the... Sorry. 2009 was Silver Screams and The Usher. 2008 was Bloody Mary. He was open when Bloody... That was 2008. So he opened around 2007. When I was there, he had only had Mayhem Manor up. He was still ordering parts for the 3D maze. So Mayhem Manor, I walked in, pretty cool. Richard Pickle designed the maze. I think specially for him. But what I did not like about that maze, it was only one actor in that maze. One. All right, Skull Kingdom. I'm going to talk about in another article. Skull Kingdom only had Skull Kingdom on the last years of its survival, it had around 4 actors. 4. And then when it first opened, it had an actor in every single room. Every single room, there was an actor in there. So there was like 30 or 30 rooms. There was 30 actors in there, and then they just went down to. They only went down to 4. But Terror on Church Street had, I think, my teacher was one of them. He used to, well, he worked there, and I don't want to say his name because I don't know if he wanted me to say anything. But yeah, so Terror on Church Street was a great attraction. Terror Orlando only had one actor. Pretty darn good, you know. It was a prefab haunted attraction, prefab. I like that little, when you go in the coat closet, that vacuum cleaner that killer vacuum cleaner. That was awesome. Yeah, it's a good scare, you know, anything with a loud noise. But, oh yeah, if a vacuum cleaner comes from the wall and into you, that's kind of really freaky. Then you go into the little thing, and they have little strings on there that move, and if they say rats or something, and kind of cool. I like that idea. And I was not a big fan. I don't remember I did a review on it. I think I was a little blunt, which is true. I was pretty blunt with what I said. But yep, so that's what I had to say about that. Off and on, and then I went through the 3D maze. It was awesome. I kind of liked it. Good job on that. It seemed like they did a pretty good job on that. But it didn't live up to... Well, all 3D mazes are kind of junky. Halloween Horror Nights' first 3D maze was kind of boring. Then the second maze, 3D maze, was kind of boring. And then the third was kind of boring, too. That Funhouse 3D maze. You know, I think they lost a lot more money than what... They lost tons of money. Because those 3D glasses are kind of not cheap. They're not cheap, okay? They're not cheap, those 3D glasses. They're the red and blue 3D glasses. They're not that cheap. They're like probably over $2 for like 10 of them or something. You know, and then people throw them out, and they get ripped. They're paper, they get ripped, so they have to get new ones. I remember Terror Mines with that lighting hat. They only had like, I think 50 or... I think they only had 15, oh no, 50 of them. They only had 50 of them. And each of them, and that lighting hat was very expensive. That lighting hat was basically $60 to $70 a pop, and there was always a guy at the end of the attraction, basically at Horror Nights. The guy at the end always had he was a quick man. You had to be very quick, because there's guests that would take that hat and they run out with it. They would run out with that hat. And then the attendant has to chase them and say, "Hey, please give that back." That must have been a hard job, asking for that thing back, because, you know, once a guest has something in their hands and say, you know, that's not, you see that a lot in a lot of attractions, that stuff are not really bolted down, or it happened in Dueling Dragons, like some of the bones got ripped out of the wall, and people walked out with a couple bones from Dueling Dragons, and they're like, "Hey, you know, you took that from the attraction, please give it back so we can put it back in." And they get all offensive with us, you know, it's not theirs, but they still get offensive, I understand, but, ooh. Let's see. Yeah, that Terror Orlando was a short-lived experience. Haunted attractions and iDrive really are not that, popular. Oh, I gotta go. My colony's on. Talk to you later.